Evans, and as you can see, it's the top two seeds that have made it to the final. They had to battle some tough teams, as you saw. Catherine Parento playing brilliantly, won the Triple Crown in North Carolina, but was defeated in doubles. And her and Leah Jansen played well, but just got beat. So let's look at the teams here, and we'll start with Lee Waters. So obviously a tremendous player, South Carolina tennis star, is the mom, is the support, but is a fierce player. She will be most likely camped on the left side, but we saw that switched up as we referred to in the open. And then the phenom that is Anna Lee Waters, she's going to be all over the court. You're going to see huge two-handed backhands. You're going to see the mom and daughter switching around. They move so poetically throughout the court. They want to drive their pace against Kovalova and Kovalova and Smith. So speaking of Kovalova and Smith.
Yeah, I mean, they do want to use their pace. However, the team of Kovalova and Smith love pace. Kovalova, we've just seen her on the court there, one of the biggest two-handed backhands in the game, and she has a length advantage over everyone here on the court. She's able to lean in to those forehand volley dinks and really dictate play. She's got it all, certainly, and she is the veteran of the court. She's with Callie Smith. This woman is a physical specimen. We've all seen Workout Wednesday. Not many people can actually follow suit. She has the fastest first steps left and right. Her split steps, unbelievable. You'll never see her not ready. She never has to get ready because she's always ready. It's incredible to see her out on the court, and just the speed she can pull off from so many locations, single-handed and double-handed backhands. Obviously, we're about to get underway with Anna Lee Waters serving.
Let's play pickleball. Best of 5 if you're just joining us. And Lee Waters knows she's going to see a lot of balls today, so
she's used to it.
Nothing new there. And that's what she does when they hit one that's in the perfect two-handed backhand strike zone. Former Gamecock rips it into the open court.
Right, another bullet fired. Another life taken.
And nice job early in the match of Callie Smith now saying, hey, Anna Lee, you want to sneak that two-handed backhand over into the middle of the court? I'm going to keep you honest over here.
For sure, and she has that single-handed backhand I mentioned. She can certainly get it down the line when need be. Just caught with Anna Lee in front of Lee on that particular occasion, and that opened up some real geometrical problems for a middle ball.
Yes,
the cone of death we talk about.
Let serves are replayed here on the PPA Tour, so if it hits the net and stays in, we will reserve it, as Lucy did there. And just sort of getting ourselves started here. Lots of rallies, no points so far. And now we're going.
Indeed. Yeah, the agility of Team Waters, that plays a massive role in the hand speed exchanges. How quickly they can get out of the way of balls that are coming into the body and create real power of forehands and the two-handed backhands especially.
And you will see Lee Waters standing on the Acrytech logo all day long, running around that backhand. They are the title sponsor, so it's nice of her to actually incorporate them into her gameplay.
Yeah, that cross-court backhand is already on point, isn't it? Jeez.
And the return sails just deep. Again, if you're just joining us, replay is in play. You have to have a timeout. You get 2 per game. So if you have a timeout and you want to take a look at something, you can do it. We had one play overturned with a correct challenge in the mixed doubles match. Don Stanley, our lead referee here. Denise Smith is the second.
That's a good leave.
We've got
one certainly floating.
Onisha Smith as our tracking referee, and Steve McKnight is the video referee for this match.
We saw this yesterday with Annalie on the left.
And there you see the versatility of this team. You know, they don't want to get caught unwinding the stack, so they're like, we're perfectly fine. Lee Waters isn't going anywhere on this point either. You saw that fist behind her back. That's the signal. And mother-daughter indecision right there. Now that can happen when you are switching sides. You're used to seeing someone from the other side of the court take that ball. So they quickly switch out of it.
She was just in motion as she hit that one. We always assume that it's forward motion that tends to always send the ball long, but if your body's moving laterally or behind, either way, your power management is going to be much more difficult.
Yeah, balance is the key to this sport. And the classic Waters step back, rip down the middle from the midcourt. We're perfectly fine with that as an option.
Yeah, they wrote the book on that move, and it may have been forwarded by Lucy Kovalova, but they wrote it. And that is wide.
And that's the pressure Annalie puts on Callie Smith there. She wants to take that out of the air, but it's got to be out of the reach of that two-hander. That's the other way to get that out of the middle, is to just hit it to the forehand there. And it's a necessary shot, or you will be chasing her around all day. Terrific point by all players. Waters was sliding and then it kissed the tape. That causes problems.
Yeah, it makes it very tough. So Kovalova serving now to AL. I think just an off pace and surprising attack from Callie Smith.
It was one of those Bugs Bunny swings. She's like, wait a minute, I saw a fastball coming there and it wasn't there. Beautiful.
Oh, lovely. For me, there's no more satisfying shot in the game than a clean winner dink.
Just placement over power, just no problem whatsoever. Yeah, why don't you go pick up that ball in the corner? I just beat you with a ball that went 4 miles an hour. Yep.
Oh. Well, she's been electric with that two-handed backhand cross-court so far. That one is the first one that's been errant.
Yeah, there's a little too much left hand on that. That's or shoulder over rotation. I mean, you've got so many opportunities to generate power when you hit a two-hander.
Yeah, I think now they're going to be looking for that cross-court ball, so maybe the middle will become available. We'll see if Waters goes to that. Well, that was possibly an out ball. Tough to get out of the way.
Yeah. So 4 apiece, you know, both squads feeling out how are we doing here. We've seen the water switch sides a little bit. You will not see Kovalova and Smith do that unless it is a dire situation. They like the way they play in these current positionings.
Oh,
I love the shot she hit before that.
yeah, it forced Lee Waters into a scramble. Waters up to the task, though.
And there's a nice attack from Lee Waters to just to the right hip of Kovalova. Couldn't get that backhand around and keep it in. Again, replay it. If it lands in the kitchen, for those of you new to pickleball, then we would not replay it, but plenty in from Annalie off the net. Caught at the feet again. Big swing, not a lot on it. Again, maybe a little bit off the end of the paddle.
Yeah. If she'd hit it clean, I think Waters would have had a good chance.
Yeah. Misserved by Lee. So 4-6 here in game one. Again, best of 5 for the women's doubles title. Oh, paddle clank, but
yeah. There's been a couple of those in the middle that has cost Kovalova and Smith.
The good news is if anything's scraped off one or the other, they're all the same paddle. So it's going to be just perfect. We're fine.
Yeah, I guess all 4 players, both teams having the exact same paddle. That's kind of that's fairly unique.
Just a good look at the Paddletech paddles of the Waters. Same shot
same
we
shot.
saw earlier. In motion, little too much swing, absolutely available.
Oh, for sure. I think she either needs to cramp closer to the middle so she doesn't need to get there in a hurry.
Kisses off the tape and just kicks wide.
Yeah, not by much.
Get ourselves in the proper position here. Fans are dying for a big firefight here.
Yeah, it's been a little subdued so far, but I'm sure we'll get it.
And that may be Onyx paddles on the ground. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Yes, indeed. Okay. So timeout is called. The Waters methodically so far up 8-4. Welcome back to the Acrytech Atlanta Open, the first major on the PPA Tour. Dave Fleming with Morgan Evans, and the Waters jumping out 8-4. Playing solid. We haven't seen the fireworks yet. I'm sure they're coming.
Yeah, so far it's been a fairly measured approach. Not looking to just start firefights too early and rest on that part of the game, although they could do it very well, obviously. Yeah, it's two drops from behind the baseline in a row.
Yes.
Followed by let's go back to basics. Let's rip this next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lee Waters made a good change there. Took some pace off, realized that she's had some issues with that movement from left to right and putting big swings on the ball.
that's usually game over for the opponent of Callie Smith on that. And no dent in the 4-point lead there.
Yeah, I think the style of game we're seeing here is a reflection of the ball speed, the heat, and how slow the ball is compared to a lot of other tournaments they've played. Yeah, they're not going to be able to get the kind of freebies out of just raw speed.
Big cut after Anna Lee popped in there for a little finesse. So no additional points on top of the snowman. They'll stay at 8. And that's the place to go on any lady or man that holds the backhand aggressively in front of you. Get it on the paddle side, keep it inside the base or the sideline. They have to do that. Lee Waters did it perfectly.
And Smith just leaving it up too high. Waters certainly up to the task there.
Yep, so Callie is definitely the apple of their eye. They're putting the returns there. They're dinking there.
Oh, beautiful play.
And look at what a left hand can do for you.
Unbelievable. Yeah, she had a moment just to sort of pause and then leap and roll that incredible, powerful backhand. Oh.
Again in motion.
Yeah, it just makes things that much more difficult.
Mom just appeared out of nowhere.
Oh. Yeah, tough one on the forehand side. She may have been able to shovel it with the backhand and just sort of scoop through it.
Yeah, you know you have to keep it safe because your whole momentum is going to throw it up in the air. But good choice by Callie. Mix it up. They're in defensive posture way back. And here's the start of, okay, and they don't mess around, as we've talked about a lot. Like, we are having to consider unwinding a stack. We're on an odd number. We lost 1 point in that. Let's go sit down and talk about whether we want to do it. We're already seated, so it's all good for us. So if you're seated, standing, kneeling, however you're watching, thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Okay, so the Waters just clamped down. You got 1 point. That's no more. No. We're going to go think about this. Now, they may or may not switch. We'll see. We'll be able to tell you right away. And they are going to switch. So 1 point of that was enough.
I'd love to see a good fake at some point.
Yeah. Because teams have the fake call, and then the fakes, we got to have that improv and acting class we've talked about for all these players. Had her on the backhand side, but
took a real chance. However, on serve didn't cost him.
Nope.
All in the name of pressure. Oh, that's a good catch from Annalie Waters.
And again, in our new rules, that's worth 2 points, but today, that's a point actually for your opponent. Oh, not even able to get in.
Interesting.
That's like, I know she's playing singles later, and she may choose to do that. And a beautiful angle from Callie Smith, but that point just was...
It was different. However, it did get her the ball.
It
attracted the ball to her side of the court, and perhaps that was a play.
I mean, if they're going to that now, that's something else.
Yeah, they're trying to think outside the box.
And suddenly, a couple of errors. Will they throw the other timeout? They know they're important. And again, if you use them both, if replay in a tight game comes up, you cannot use it.
And there's a reason why the box exists. You know, you know what's in there, and you're good at it. Oh,
and Lee Waters.
Beautiful work.
H2. Oh, yeah.
We hear from the crowd. Well done, Mama Bear.
Just unable to get in, trying to work her way. I've talked to these two before. Sometimes it's 5th, 7th, nice shot drop from Lee, just working her way up there. And that's where a drop of that quality really unleashes Anna Lee.
If the drop is perfect, then Callie Smith has a tough decision to make to try to get back to Lee or try to burn Anna Lee on the way forward.
So we got a game point here. What a ball by Anna Lee there.
D.
And again.
And there it is. She found her opportunity. And all it takes is one good look at a ball dropping, and she is out like a gun.
So, Kovalova and Smith push all the way to 9-8, but the Waters are able to get over the top. Game 1 goes to Lee and Anna Lee, 11-8. We'll be back with game 2. Welcome back. Women's doubles final. The Waters looking to capture their 4th tournament in a row that they've played in on the PPA Tour. Kovalova serves to get us started here.
Nice work. Some serious power to begin from Anna Lee, and Mama Waters doing the damage to finish. Oh, that's beautiful work. They have really picked up where they left off, starting to gel with their movements when they need to cross over.
And Smith and Kovalova taking a little, okay, we got to stop this onslaught a little bit here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see an early timeout if another 1 or 2 points slides.
And there's
that's big.
The foot speed, and you know, you talked about the lateral movement of Callie Smith, which is indeed impressive. Anna Lee Waters, soccer background, split steps and explodes out of there and can go get it with the two-hander. She's just looking.
Oh. Nice work. Yeah, the difference is Anna Lee is very, very comfortable using crossover steps to get where she needs to go. Callie Smith almost exclusively side steps. And the crossover step is much more like a natural running motion. And no one's ever won the 100-meter race using side steps.
No, if they did, that would really make the ESPN
it'd be very impressive.
Definitely. And that's great dinking by Lee Waters to set up. And again, Anna Lee is smart enough to know I don't have to place this one. Just place it down at the feet and we're out the door.
Yeah, still, that ball's over as Anna Lee is there to clean up whatever happens. However, we've got a side out, so let's see if Kovalova and Smith can right the ship.
Earlier today, she was hoping that Wright would right the ship. Now she needs Smith to right the ship. So
we're likely towards the end of our right puns, but you never know.
we are definitely not, because he still plays later today.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Look at that get. A little wide. So this is what gets frustrating, is you feel like you're playing pretty well. You look up, you have no points to show for what you've done so far. You just have to just grind through this, Kovalova and Smith.
Oh,
And just
a little bit of luck catching the net.
watch it just ride that net. And a lot of times that's the ball you want, because you get a really fun ATP that you can hit almost cross court, but that one didn't come wide enough. Lee Waters is there. Oh,
And then hands up in the air. She scrambled so well to deal with that one.
she even put her paddle up, like, in case you want to come back at
Yeah.
me, I'm over here and ready. Just make sure the court reporters got that noted.
Yeah, the stenographer was on hand.
So there's the first little bit of fire from Lucy. You know, we usually hear Callie Smith yelling and fired up, and just haven't ignited that quite yet.
Nice placement there. Good enough power, but it was the accuracy
Yes.
that really got the work done there from Callie Smith to finish that point. Ooh, possibly didn't need to go for that hero play just yet.
And you saw her saying, I got to be firm with that. Left it a little loose. Paddle face was open, sails deep. Again, so more let serves today than we had all day yesterday. Yeah, and the thirds are up, and again, the team that gets the ball to bounce more at this level is definitely going to be ahead. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. They have decided to switch sides.
Still on serve, not going to cost him. And I think Anna Lee Waters is very happy for her mum to keep firing those missiles.
Yes.
It gives her opportunities to feed off the chaos.
So let's see how Kovalova and Smith have activated the switcheroo here.
Yeah, good to make a change.
They get a couple stops in it, so that'll make you feel good about, hey, showing we're strategic. Great dig.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I mean, Callie Smith thought, hey, I just reset an impossible ball. We're back in this. And then she's picking it up and tapping her paddle, saying, nice shot.
Oh, same player.
Almost the same ball. Just a little two on top of the forehand roll there. And that stays in.
Wow.
And okay, now we've got the fist pump, and it's...
that was almost top floor.
It was. It was about 14 of the 15-story Kovalova tower. Beautiful.
Oh,
okay.
lovely.
There it is again.
Yeah, she held it for long enough, hoping someone would see it.
We did. We did.
Well, we did, but I don't think the waters paid much notice.
No, they turned their backs.
Intended for them.
And a nice job by Kovalova and Smith to tie this up. Now this is where you get confused because you've switched and then you have to get in the right position. They're choosing not to stay with it on the unwinding the stack.
Yeah, it's a smart play.
What a get. And I hear a come on from Annalie Waters.
And Kovalova might be leaving. So I foresee a video replay here. All right.
Okay.
So, in the end, Kovalova and Smith called the ball out, and Waters are challenging said call.
What do you guys think? Was the ball in or out? Was it
Yeah, I saw Kovalova just go to have a seat. I was hoping she wasn't injured in any way there.
Yeah,
but
no, I think she was looking at the crowd to decide if she should make a challenge or call the ball out.
We're looking at the footage right now.
Yeah, from what we're looking at, again, we don't decide. It looks like the ball is in.
Yeah, it looks like it's just inside the line. But very close, very, very close.
Not our decision, Morgan. We just share. So
no, certainly.
So what do you think of the Kovalova and Smith switching sides?
Well, I think what they can't afford to do is be making the switch on the return of serve and risking some of these bullets being fired from the Waters, catching them, unwinding that stack, which we've talked about many, many times. But the consequences when the Waters are on the other side are very dire. They are so accurate at the speed in which they can hit. But I do like the mix-up. We've talked about it many times. If you're losing one way, whatever you do, don't lose the same way.
Yeah, and it's, Kovalova plays exclusively on that side, obviously, in mixed. We'll get the call from head referee Don Stanley.
Team Kovalova and Smith require timeout. They have no timeouts remaining and no video challenge. Play with the score 5-4-1. They have one timeout left.
Okay.
So the ball was good.
So Kovalova and Smith.
And based on the laws of the pickleball gods, that ball was in.
No question about it.
6-4-1.
Oh, Callie.
She leapt too far laterally.
Yes.
She had an extra foot or so to work with.
Which, again, with the width of the net, she wanted to get clearance to the side with the rest of her body, but had she gone right to it, I think that's a winner.
Oh, that's good fire. Callie Smith, I think she's going to try to dial it up a notch to try to offset the constant pressure the Waters are putting on.
Beautiful two-handed smoke by Lee Waters. Look at that.
Yeah,
fully.
that is torrential rain of a two-handed backhand from Waters.
8-4-2.
Oh, she was there.
Now, there have been a few of those for both mama and daughter in that middle filling when they've been on that side of the court.
4-1.
I doubt they'll switch out of this over there. Oh, but they will. Okay, so they're feeling much better about this formation.
Yeah, and we talked about it yesterday. We noticed them trying this formation, and I commented that perhaps they were thinking of giving it a go against the Smith and Kovalova duo.
And they are currently giving it a go, and it's going well.
I think if Kovalova and Smith can really raise the intensity level,
Yeah.
They could certainly get back into this match.
Yeah, I mean, there's no librarian here shushing anybody. I mean, you know.
No, we asked that person to leave.
Yes,
and,
get out. We want some energy.
yeah, it's not the best way to start the fire, but
Hey, 5-1. Second serve.
I would expect this return to go to Lee Waters as well.
yeah, keep dipping into that well until it runs dry.
Exactly. Okay.
That's big. That could be the party starter.
Yes, perhaps with us starting earlier, the invitations had already been sent out. Now everyone is
Yeah.
arriving.
Yeah, we've got a great crowd here. Look at
Awesome.
this.
Awesome crowd. They're ready for more of what they just saw on that point and more of the noise. And it's Kovalova, and she has fists for days for her opponents. So it is just a 2-point lead, and it is the Waters calling timeout. Have Kovalova and Smith found their energy? We'll find out if they can keep it going after this. And we are back. The crowd is big and going bananas here. The ladies always bring the best out of the crowd.
For sure. It is Banana Day here
And
at Wrigley Field.
this is what happens when the Aussie
I
starts doing
know.
baseball references.
It's an issue. I'll work on that.
Oh, clank, but it worked out. And
Oh, great power, and the depth was spot on. I don't think anyone's challenging the call.
no, that's well inside the baseline. And the deficit is but one, and just everything about that team is different. They get a miss, and paddles down again.
Okay.
So no challenges allowed now. That's their second timeout. It's a quick one. We'll take a quick one ourselves. Kovalova Smith rallying impressively in game 2. We are back, and the rampage is coming from Smith and Kovalova now, all the way to 8 apiece.
Okay, this is the kind of action we
Yes.
expected.
It is arrived, it is tight, and we love it.
And Kovalova means business, and that fist pump gets to at least the 12th floor.
And there are no fans in the direction she's pointing. That is directed exactly in one spot.
Oh. Okay, great
Okay.
run though.
Couldn't get to 10, which would have really put the pressure on, but they got the lead. Go with the drop shot that brings her in.
And Kovalova didn't quite need to be that perfect.
No, there was nothing to gain from
Yeah.
too much there.
I mean, Lee Waters does put a lot of backspin on that slice dink. Makes things tough.
Great handle off the tape.
And a good
That
leave.
is a pivotal moment there, because if that net cord causes Kovalova an error, then they're staring at game point down. Great angle from Callie Smith here. Watch this finish. So
Yeah.
neither team able to get to 10. Can Smith and Kovalova do it here?
And momentum is in their favor. And a beautiful drop,
Yes.
testing the forehand side of Waters.
No
Yeah.
timeout to be called here at 10. They're out, so here's game point for Smith and Kovalova. Lee Waters up to the challenge on try number 1. And that sails deep. And after being in a big hole in game 2, Smith and Kovalova come all the way back. The crowd is energized. They are energized. We're going to play at least 4, Morgan.
Love it. Incredible stuff there to come back, make a real meal of this match, heading into game 3. Looking forward to it.
We will see game 3, and again, it's best 3 of 5 here, so lots of work to do when we come back. And there's the hardware and glassware that they're playing for today. Beautiful trophies here on the PPA Tour, and beautiful play on the court. 1 game apiece. Smith and Kovalova win at 11-9. Interesting there that the chicken wing attempt by Lee Waters couldn't quite get there, not enough feathers, and then Anna Lee wasn't sure what to do behind that.
Yeah, I think one of the things we're seeing here is the fact that Kovalova and Smith, you know, they've played a lot of great teams, obviously, but there hasn't been a team that applies as much pressure consistently as the Waters. And it took them a game to really get a feel for the rhythm of this constant pressure and where they need to be, how much pace they need to put and get that ball down into tough locations. Now they've found that again, and we are seeing a real battle.
And they found it with a side switch as well, which is interesting.
Unbelievable.
There we go.
And the return fist pumps.
Yep, okay.
I love it.
Lee Waters,
Yeah.
that if you don't think a message was being sent
Yeah.
there, you aren't paying attention.
No love lost.
Yeah,
And that move from Waters just
Perfect.
puts something in the peripheral vision.
and it takes a shot away. Oh,
Oh, just trickled over. Well, luck was certainly on their side towards the tail end of game 1.
yes.
Looks like Lady Luck has come back for a visit. Possibly left her car keys.
Yeah, don't put those down in a different place. And the Waters come roaring out in game number 3, up 4-0 to start here.
4-0-1.
This is big.
This is timeout.
Yeah, it's got to be timeout at this point. If not, then they're really
This
risking
is-
number 6 coming.
Yeah, this rampage is
5-0-1.
not to be trifled with here. Great return by Callie Smith.
Okay, a little singles practice for
Yes.
Anna Lee Waters. She will be obviously playing that against Catherine Parento later on.
Just, you know, gotta remember what all the angles are like.
Yeah, if she doesn't get 60,000 steps in
Oh.
a day of play, then she's just not happy with herself.
Just ridiculous if she doesn't. Just wide. So they're running off to a 5-0 lead. They had a lead in game 2. They weren't able to conclude that game with a victory. So that's what Smith and Kovalova have to draw from. That will not trickle over. So the net continues to be in favor of Kovalova and Smith. Not that it really has feelings for either squad. Oh, she's in shock that she pulled that wide. Saw it, ripped it, pulled it.
Oh, they'll shake that one off.
And late on the reload there from Kovalova. I like the attack down the middle, just ready for the next one. And she could pull it to the other side of Lee Waters, but not ready there, so they get one.
Oh, nice off-pace ball, just rolling it gently to the feet.
And switching from the attack on the ball before, so Annalee's got to change her paddle positioning.
Oh,
okay.
Gorgeous shot there.
And look at Lucy Kovalova bringing some tricks from the left side of the court here.
Yeah, that looked a lot like one of her normal dinks, and quickly accelerating.
Okay.
And again, holds the pose to finish.
And with a little knee bend action to go with it. So
yeah, it wasn't part of the shot.
No,
she really leant into it. Okay.
So all systems go. Kovalova definitely wants this one. Not that all four ladies don't, but you can see the fire. And we're now hearing the fire. And we're watching the fire. And the Paddletech paddles have hit the ground. So, Waters up 5-zip. It's now 5-3. The battle rages on. We'll be right back. Okay, so the Waters are never shy about using a timeout, whether they've got the lead, whether they need to reset strategy.
Yeah, just looking to douse the flames. Ah, interesting. That was a much more measured approach on the fourth ball.
And Callie Smith does not need to stick the paddle in there. Kovalova's behind her. Twice. So when you've switched sides a little bit, that's a ball the forehand can much easier take than a reach across your body and try and get that back. 2 in a row right in that same spot. We'll see if that continues. What defense by Lee Waters to get in.
Nice work. I like the fact that Smith and Kovalova took a moment there to basically invite the Waters up, saying, we know how much damage you can do from back there. Let's see how well you can handle us up here. Yeah,
And
they're not looking for blunt force trauma every step of the way. And they realize there's an area of the court where the Waters do have an advantage, and they're looking to take that part of the equation out. Smith having a... Okay.
Okay, so
Smith
Smith asked Don Stanley to have a little comment for the perhaps a fan had yelled out in the middle of the point there. Just catches the line.
Yeah, very close.
And the net is in play on this point.
Oh, and Smith unable to get the paddle high enough as soon as it popped off the net. Great rally.
She got a nice bounce, but it's hard to control yourself. Unable to score on that opportunity. So that's the risk of just saying I'm going forward without measuring your partner's third. Okay, so no points on the return opportunity, and Smith and Kovalova back with the ball. And that point was lost on the indecision of who was taking the third.
Yeah, communication costs nothing.
No, these guys have unlimited plans. Oh, and a foot stomp by Kovalova there, and the issue is she faded back off and she got a ball to attack, but was moving, not in position, saw it a bit late, and
really the antithesis of the fist pump, really, isn't it?
Yes, yes. On the sliding scale of Kovalova post-point activities. Oh, wow. Literally sat there. Little game of ping pong.
And a good lead from Waters. Not too far long.
No.
A foot or less. So they've doubled them up.
Yeah, they've been scrambling because the thirds have been up, so trying to work their way through that. And the Onyx paddles will hit the ground here. So the Waters raced out to 5-zip. It was 5-3 for an eternity. It is now 7-3. We'll be right back.
Welcome here courtside at the Atlanta Open. I'm here with Melissa McCurley, president of pickleballtournaments.com. She's here to tell us a little bit about what this tournament has been like to run so far.
Well, another huge one here in Atlanta, another record-breaking numbers, 1,146 players, 39 states, 561 of them from here in Georgia. We ran over 1,000 matches in just 2 days on our biggest days of 5 days here. But one of the highlights for me is Matt Mayfield, who is here with the PPA, just taking care and leading the experience for the amateurs anywhere. From making sure yesterday's rain delay was minimized, anything from court conditions, making sure those are in great shape, answering questions, awarding medals, highlighting sponsors, and he's just been terrific.
Well, it's help from people like you, Matt, that makes this tour run. It's all the little people. It's everyone who goes to put this thing together. How has your experience been so far?
Wow, thanks, Melissa. Yeah, amateurs are the lifeblood of our sport, and if you come to a PPA Tour event, you can expect to play at the very best venues, right alongside the best players in the world. And
How are the amateurs play on your end and running that side of the things, on court and so on?
Well, I can't thank the hardworking volunteers and the staff, but really most importantly the players for making the Atlanta Open such a big success this year. We had over 40 courts going at one time, and it's just tremendous for the sport's growth.
Thank you so much for your time, Matt, Melissa. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Hannah.
All right, we certainly appreciate all the hard work that goes into making this tournament run at all levels, and you can truly play where the pros play. So check that calendar and come play and watch this great game of pickleball that is on fire, fastest growing sport in the country.
Oh,
Wow.
In the end, it was a very either well-disguised or mistimed forehand that caught the outside.
Since she had the paddle up, I'm going to give her the well-disguised.
Okay, perfect. Good leave. And again, Kovalova and Smith, there are two of the players out there that do manage to have enough strength and ability with the single-handed backhand to direct it down the line. There's not that many guys on the tour that can really hit that shot so well. So very impressive work from the ladies.
Jessie Irvin also in that ladies club of one-handed backhand menacing shots. A little low and a little tight to the net. That's why shallow dinks are so important.
Yeah, knowing when you can play that more aggressive offensive dink and when just dropping it very short in the kitchen can pay dividends.
Went for the absolutely nasty acute angle there and pulled it just a little wide.
So what does it look like where somebody kind of shows the crowd a little bit? Really good or not? Who gets it this year?
Just wide by Kovalova.
Yeah, that side of the court seems to be dragging the ball towards the crowd. They're considering a timeout. I'm not sure it's worth it, but that's just me.
There's a lot of indecision here.
That seems like a mini timeout there.
Yeah, just ask a bunch of questions to slow everything down.
Lee
Saw
Waters
a
doing
chance.
a great
Yep.
job there of moving around that backhand side using that inside-out forehand, which has a great way of rolling the ball down, dipping it, forcing the kind of preferred dink of Lucy Kovalova, that lean-in volley dink, to be very tricky. Not a huge margin at that height.
No.
And a lot of enthusiasm from Lee Waters. Massive forehand from Kovalova. Started with that single-handed flick attack from Callie Smith. Beautiful work.
And again, this was 5-zip, and here we go again. Can they come storming back? And after all that patience.
Yeah, for me, I think getting Anna Lee back on the left just for, you know, a moment's notice.
8-7-1.
If for nothing else, just to relieve a little bit of pressure from Lee Waters, who is seeing a lot of balls. And we're seeing it now, Anna Lee on the left side. So we're going to see how well, if they do want to target Lee Waters.
And they do. Anna Lee snuck in there a couple times, leaving herself vulnerable on the outside, but that's the dare she puts in front of the opponent. So another chance to tie it up or even take the lead here for Smith and Kovalova.
Nice work proving her mettle on that exchange.
And a missed serve gives it back, so.
Yeah, a serious rarity.
Yeah.
And a timeout is called.
Okay, so things are tightening up like they did in game 2, and we'll be right back for the finish. It is game number 3 of the women's doubles final here at the Acrytech Atlanta Open. The crowd is big, the crowd is into it, and the ladies on the court are giving them quite a show here on a Sunday in, of course it's a Peachtree Corners, Georgia. And Lee Waters was finally able to get to the kitchen and then just left that forehand volley in the net.
It's the first time she's actually moved to her left to hit a forehand volley dink, as opposed to getting around her backhand.
Great get by Anna Lee. And pressure on both sides of the body with Lee Waters under target here.
Yeah, certainly. So far, it's been a lot of Lee Waters versus Lucy Kovalova. Nice work to deal with that first one. Set herself up beautifully for a nice, easy one to finish proceedings.
Big forehand. And an even bigger second forehand and a little strut. A little just...
Yeah, I mean, there was enough power on that forehand to restart a dead star.
And she is smiling, enjoying playing the left side here. And hello, they've got the lead.
I think Anna Lee has to get onto the left side quickly, and I don't think they can be afraid of doing it on the return of serve.
Callie Smith reset clinic.
Beautiful work.
And Callie Smith, two-handed backhand finish clinic.
Unbelievable. Look at that.
And they have fought all the way back in front and have a game point in game number 3, reminiscent of game number 2. And Kovalova hits the deck. She's happy she hit the deck, and they take game number 3, come roaring back from being behind. They've done it twice. They've got the first to 2. Can they be the first to 3?
Absolutely critical in a game to in a match to 5.
Yeah, so it is, as the heat has been rising on the court, so has the play. So phenomenal comebacks twice by Smith and Kovalova. Lucy Kovalova really feeling it on that left side of the court. They're up 2 games to 1, game 4 right after this. Welcome back to the Acrytech Atlanta Open, and Kovalova and Smith. They've put Kovalova on the left side. She has been more aggressive. She has been on point. And she and Smith have dug themselves out of deficits early in the second and third game and are up 2 games to 1. And
Okay, a little lioness
okay.
roar.
Okay.
One of the more adorable come-ons you're ever going to hear.
But the energy has been dissipating from the water, so
Yeah.
we'll see if they can get that back.
Precipitation will do that to you. No, evaporation. It was
Oh,
one, was
so
one
close.
Of, I
It's-
know.
And that's way too many letters for the Wordle, Morgan.
Sorry. If you are looking for a Wordle hint for today, all 4 players are trying to win this.
Okay. Just a drive and a missed. Saw that a little bit in mixed. The shorter returns really cracking the ball and some force that caught the net. That's why that return so important. Great return by Callie Smith there, but the reply, look at this.
Oh. Yeah, I think if Waters are going to keep Annalee on the right-hand side, they've got to adjust a different tactic to attract more balls in her direction.
Too good.
Well, I like the play. Lee Waters redirected the ball, and we were talking about that during the break, to Callie Smith, and that did eventually get something over to Annalee.
Wow. That's what has to happen. You see her go for it on the point before, and you don't need to hit a lot. Just have that paddle out in front. Callie Smith blocked it into the open court.
So now we are seeing Annalee on the left side.
Ooh, good try. She knew she couldn't leave it in front of her because the Ernie threat had arrived.
Yeah, that was a beautiful inside-out dink from Lucy Kovalova. Big play from Callie Smith, getting in there. So much power on that forehand.
You want to try and keep that going, at least make them beat you on the next point after you hit a beauty. Unable to make the third, so they get within one. Again, have been down the last 3 games.
Oh, she just draws it too far wide.
That's not going to happen very often.
No. Oh, nice work, Lee Waters.
Split step fire and then reload.
That was a nice little fake there from Anna Lee. Not quite sure if it had any effect, but still looked good.
Yeah, I think she's just wanting to swing it. She wants the ball so bad she'll swing at one that's not even visible to us.
Oh.
Okay. A little walk to the net with the fist in the air.
Yeah.
Kovalova's confidence level is soaring right now, despite being down in game 4.
She could have used that in the mixed, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was a sitter. And it's exactly what that ball deserved.
Yes, that was Sitter Fest 2022. There were 3 of them in there. You don't even see that many in a whole game. We got them in a whole point.
Yeah, there's bait, and then there's, well, here's just a full meal for you. Don't you worry. On the house.
Good deep return from Lee Waters there.
So they maintain the lead. Nice work. And there was a couple of dinks there where Kovalova and Smith just looked a little off balance, just scrambling slightly. Started a cascade effect, giving Waters the point. Oh, that's beautiful.
And you also noticed that Smith and Kovalova chose not to change sides.
Yeah.
So 6-2 is the score. Usually when you're on an odd number, but because they have decided to switch things up, it's actually if they're even, they got to unwind the stack. So Waters, again, have a lead midway through another game. This time, can they close it? We're going to close up shop here for a second. We'll be right back. What a match. Game 4 in progress. Okay, welcome back. Can the Waters close? Great get by Lee. Oh my, after that gorgeous two-handed roll dink.
She did everything right there. She's getting a lot of awkward dinks out of Lucy Kovalova.
And now the pressure is going to be on this cross-court battle until I wouldn't expect the Waters to switch out of this now, but will Callie stay over there? She will not. And a BB down the line off a ball that was left up. And
yeah, this should be timeout territory again if they've got one.
Yeah, they do. It's just a matter of they feel like we just used one. that shouldn't matter. This point, they did bring Callie back, and Callie got tagged.
That might be off the noggin.
She seems okay. Let's start with that, yeah. So no answers on the left side of the court at this second. We go back to Lucy. And that flinger goes deep, and this rampage is legit. Is it closing time? One last call right here.
It looks like they've resigned themselves to this one. They're not calling the timeout.
Wow. They did not have their signal straight there, but got a missed third.
Perhaps that was it.
Both of us run to the middle, and that should be fine.
Little discombobulation.
Okay. So they've had one chance. Long way to go, but they've done it before.
Yeah, scrambling off the back foot. Not an easy shot,
No.
but something that she needs.
Oh, I would like Kovalova to call her off there with the forehand.
And Aaliyah's hunting.
Oh, and they...
Wow.
It's hard when you're hunting and you think any ball I get's going to be a couple paces away to all of a sudden, wait, there's a ball on my paddle.
I foresee a timeout if this point goes.
Okay, they got to 5. And that slides, and that ball hadn't even hit the net, and the paddles were down. So, I think I've said this a few times. Water's way ahead. Here come Kovalova and Smith.
Astonishing, really, isn't it? Again and again.
So, they had a chance to actually win it. They were unable to do it. There's the catch earlier in the match. So, what a battle. We've had fists shown to the competitors across the net. The fans are going bananas. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Groundhog Day because they keep coming back, and I've seen it in game 2, seen it in game 3. We'll see if Bill Murray makes an appearance here in a minute or not, but
yeah, I forget, he might still be in hot water.
yeah.
But most celebrities are these days, so oh well.
Join the club. Oh no. Just had the lever of the wrist back just ever so slightly there.
Yeah, the hammer of Thor was rough.
We saw that earlier in the match where Lee Waters scrambling to recover to the middle and too deep to do something with it. Great serve by Callie Smith there. Oh, a little dropper. What a get.
Beautiful work from Kovalova. And Team Waters are going to have to channel their inner goldfish and forget the previous 2 games, which followed the exact same script.
We are 90 minutes into this match. Oh my. So Smith has had a couple of really good looks to add to the comeback. So they get to 8. Game point number 2 here. Oh, Kovalova Awkwardville, USA, but she's still in there.
This means so much to Kovalova. You can just see it.
So, third try at forcing a 5th game. Oh my, is that going to cost them? And the answer is yes. So confusion in the middle started a problem, and that comeback falls just short. So the Waters were able to finish. The fans wanted a 5th game.
Goldfish for the win.
I know you at home wanted a 5th game, and we will have that. We'll switch sides at 6. These women put on a show every single time. I love it. You love it. Thanks for watching at home. We'll be right back with deciding game number 5 at the Acrytech Sports Surfaces Atlanta Open. So the fans are loving it. The question is can Kovalova and Smith have a better start here? I mean, that is really, it's hard to keep digging and digging out.
The Waters have historically been incredible starters. They have really taken off to a great lead in the last 3 games especially. Unfortunately for 2 of those, Smith and Kovalova found their way back again and again. And Waters were reluctant to make some tactical changes that may have helped them, but they got the job done in the last one. And oh, there was a drink apparently fell on the court, so
just I can tell you the hot Atlanta Heat will take care of that in a moment's notice. So,
but it's Smith and Kovalova that are staying out there, keeping warm.
Yeah, we watched this before.
Yep.
Practice, like here we go. I've seen her do this in the middle of matches before. If there's a little drink over there and I've got a chance to hit some balls, I'm gonna do it. And this is the only lady on the court that played earlier, so she's already played, and she's, you know, and we talked about it. Fitness with her is not gonna. She's not. I don't care if it was best of 5,
100%.
best of 7.
Yeah, Kovalova and Smith, this is it for them for the day, though.
Correct.
And
for
Lee
Lee
Waters
as well.
And for Lee, yes, but Anna Lee will be showing her single stuff later on.
And here we go. Switch sides at 6. This is for the title. Great stab by Callie. Chooses to let it bounce. Oh my. And just deep, so big opportunity lost on the decision on the slow ball before that. That was real close.
That was really close. So we may see a... No.
They're not going to go there to start with.
Okay. That's what happens when you pull the trigger at Callie Smith. She's seen that before, and for my money, Lee Waters was starting to do a wonderful job in the cross-court dink exchanges against Kovalova.
And she knows she's going to be in that for the rest of this match. And you owe her a note.
Yes.
That wasn't exactly a dink, though, a transitional ball there.
Yeah,
so I'm going to rescind the note.
Okay, great. I'll send a text at
Yeah, that's probably nice. Maybe just one emoji.
That's what happens when the Cub gets in there.
Yeah, and when you are winning the dink and your ball is forcing awkward positions of your opponent cross court, they're going to leave the ball in the less desirable spot. And then here comes the two-hander.
And they left AL on the left for that one. See if they're going to do it again.
Yeah, they've been taking turns actually so far, so they're going to keep switching back and forth. Interesting choice. It's a new one. Nice job by Lee fighting that ball off. And Smith and Kovalova can feel good that they're off to a better start here.
Yeah.
3-1 lead. Huge rip, and in sync the Paddletech paddles go down, and they were smart enough to put one on each side. That was well choreographed there. So looky here, Smith Kovalova up 4-1. We'll switch sides at 6. Can they keep the lead to the end? So the Waters take a timeout. Smith and Kovalova off to a much better start. And a beautiful point finished by Lee Waters. Ferocious two-hander.
I mean, that's what we saw from her at the beginning of game 1. Amazing two-handed backhands drawing cross court again and again. However, Lucy Kovalova started to find a way.
Oh my. Callie Smith will happily cheer a net cord winner there. It's game 5 of a major.
Yeah, they're not here to make friends.
No. Lee Waters trying to get something to bounce. Very loud out call there
yes,
on the way.
Just in case
there was any
someone was wondering.
Yes, or if Lucy was suddenly going to dive because she felt she needed to.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you're trying to get that ball to bounce. Unfortunately, with Lucy Kovalova, the most amount of reach on the court's just not easy.
Oh, and Kovalova leaves her backhand cocked and just stares straight ahead like, I'm not hitting that out ball. 51. Ebbs and flows in this one are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now Anna Lee may feel like I got to even do more.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do it from the right side is not easy. She can when it's feeding off chaos.
Yes. Yeah, she has to come running over there and take balls off the bounce all day. It's going to be a lot harder task.
Yeah, it could affect her singles.
Wow, okay. So that is what I was wondering if it would happen. You start to see the finish line and you are behind the runner in front. So 6 points, switch sides. Can the Waters flip the script and launch a comeback of their own? They're going to have to activate the hose and get that water running quickly. We'll be right back. So there's the sort of free bonus timeout of the deciding game 5 here. 6-1-2, Callie Smith to serve. see here Callie Smith with the flick because Annalee's only looking for the ball on her backhand side. Nothing has been to her right the whole day. Wow, that's a sneaky, effective, brilliant shot by Callie Smith right there at crunch time.
Now we've got Annalee on the left.
And the lead is 7.
And another timeout is called. They are the gold medalists of timeout calling.
Yes, but the paddles, instead of being placed down, were flicked. That's always an indication of the scoreboard. The flicked paddle means the deficit is 4 or more. Can they rally? It's going to take a lot, but they've done it before. The first major is living up to the billing. We'll be right back. Okay, so Callie Smith again serving after a timeout, but not what the Waters had hoped. This is not a replay. This is a second timeout. And Callie Smith comes roaring in, and they are 2 points from a title.
Yeah. And that's more impressive than you might think, given that she has not seen a ball since the late 90s. It's been the Kovalova Lee Waters
Whoever you
show
put
so much.
diagonally from Lee is who's going to be getting the ball. Okay.
That's a big ball there from Annalee Waters, and she needs to really start staying on the left and doing some serious damage.
Now you're seeing the crowd trying to urge them forward. Wow, great recovery, Lucy.
Kovalova's fist pumps have proved effective today.
Yes. I think for her own confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, she's thinking possibly that was an out ball.
Yes, when you're as tall as she is and you're reaching for a ball with pace above your head, it's probably out. But too late. Just throw it away. Oh, and there's a wag back from.
Yeah.
Oh, the wag backs can. Wow.
Oh, and a double wag.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and the Waters cannot allow these kinds of this kind of gamesmanship to get into their heads. I mean, it's as simple as that. They're professional athletes.
And the fist is in the air, and it is match point. Championship point.
Right now, the Vegas odds on a paddle tap or not is, I don't know. So you pick them.
I think they'll do it, but it won't be long. And that will do it. Smith and Kovalova with a dominant Game 5 performance. They wanted this desperately, and their play in Game 5 delivered the goods.
For sure. They found a way to not just finish strong, but start strong as well. Great tactically. They didn't panic. They had some ebbs and flows, but in the end, it was more than enough in Game 3.
And you saw the Callie Smith fake. She even threw her left hand out in the middle of that point, and they get the fist bumps and the hugs, and the Waters just want to get the heck off the court. There they are. Got to give a lot of credit to Lucy Kovalova. Loses the mixed in not a fashion that it wasn't a grinded out, really close match. And then she's got to play a side. She didn't plan on playing at all today.
No.
In mixed, she was going to play the right. In this match, she was going to play the right side. And it was her play on the left side that won the match for him.
It really did. There was a period in Game 3 or 4, I believe, where it looked like it was coming off the rails a little bit, but she got it together, and they kept their commitment to that style again and again and found a way. Very impressive.
So the 3 tournament win streak for the Waters is snapped, and Kovalova and Wright didn't get it done, but Kovalova and Smith do get it done. So we'll talk to the winners right after this.
Well, welcome back to Championship Court. I have the pleasure of introducing our champions, Lucy Kovalova, Callie Smith. Ladies, incredible, incredible match. You built up Quite a rivalry with the water. So many good battles. The crowd is just loving it. What made you guys better today?
Well, crowd, first of all, thank you so much for cheering us on. You guys were awesome. And then, we started the match. We lost the first game, and then it was just like, okay, well, now is the time to shine, Callie, now or never. And we put it together, and we executed our shots. We cut our unforced errors, and you saw the last game, so we had fun.
Well, guys, you came back from deficits in games 2 and 3 and almost did it in 4 as well. What factors contributed to that?
Waters are always a tough team to play. They're wonderful players. So we knew we had our work cut out for us before we got here. And they came out on top. Sometimes that happens. Pickleball is a game of runs. And it's just being able to manage emotions on the court, sticking with it. And we just kept telling each other, one at a time. And it worked. We inched our way back one at a time till we got the win on a few of them. One of them we almost got there, but didn't quite make it. But again, like Lucy said, cut our unforced errors. The crowd's amazing. I think another factor was my family was here, and family watching from home, my kids at home. So I love them very much and love all the supporters here, my family, my husband, and all of the sponsors, Onyx, Optivia Health, and Spray. Just you guys have been amazing, especially in our success and being able to play and live our dream.
Well, guys, how do you keep the momentum flowing throughout this long 5-game match?
Well, I think you just need to play one game at a time, right? You lost the first game, then it's like, okay, we have to get that one, and then we get the next one. So it's just like, maybe before we played our 5th game, we were just like, we were playing together, we were trying to stay loose, and it's just like, okay, now it's time to shine. And we did. And before, I have to say hi to my parents in Slovakia. Thank you for Facebook Live, and thank you for YouTube, because they watch every single match.
Congratulations, lady. I'm going to bring Connor Pardo, Commissioner of the PPA, on court to present your trophies. You want to stay?
Congratulations. Oh, thanks.
On behalf of the PPA Tour and the Acrytech Atlanta Open, we present you guys with the cup and your championship trophy. Great job, ladies. Let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. What a match. Ladies, that's pretty good. You had 2 games where you started down 0-4 and 0-5, and you were able to win those games. It's really tough to beat Callie Smith and Lucy Kovalova when they're out there having fun and smiling and having a great time. So who wants to see them back in Atlanta again next year? Let's give it up for them, everybody.
Dave, over to you.
Okay, well, what a well-earned victory for Smith and Kovalova. We saw them when we had the drink spill. They went out on the court.
Yeah.
They kept it going. They practiced. They hit some balls.
They put in the work. They took the scenic route, for sure.
They took a very scenic road until the GPS said, just stay on this road.
Yes.
And they got ahead and just punched the accelerator and finished. That match was exactly 2 hours.
Unbelievable.
So a great match. You can see them proudly holding up the trophies, well earned. So the ladies have graced us with an incredible match. Now we've got friends turned foes, now turned friends again. So it is Matt Wright and Riley Newman, who faced off at the beginning of the day on the opposite side of the net, will now try to pair up and find a way. Can they find a way to beat the Johns brothers?
I really feel like if there's going to be a day, it's today. It's something I said in the mixed when finally Ben Johns and Annalie Waters were defeated. And there's something about this tournament. It has a certain air to it.
So we will come back and set that men's doubles final up when we come back from the Acrytech Atlanta Open here on the PPA Tour.